It's been a minute since I posted anything on my sub-only content, and I apologize for that. I've been not feeling good for a while now, and I've also, for a minute there, I spent some time just focusing on some family time, turned the camera off, and just wanted to get off social media. But then, it's like God was like, it still wasn't long enough of a break, because I feel like, honestly, I was carrying this, like, resentment and, like, energy towards everything that's going on, and I was just about to spew stuff, you know? And I didn't want to make my platform about that. I never did. I never wanted to be the person who got up on my platform and just spoke about drama and everything. I want to just focus on me and my kids and everything in our lives. Sorry, it hurts to breathe right now.
Stephanie Jenkins is saying that she hates missing work. And so for her, having a job means content creating. It means recording yourself sweeping rocks. But the reason why I think she was sweeping rocks is because she is on them. I think she's going on a bender. I think she's dope sick. I don't really think she's actually sick because she seems to be getting sick a lot. Um, but they always seem to spiral. Like there is genuinely a pattern with Stephanie Jenkins and Drew Jenkins when they get their payout. Don't feel bad because she is not really working. All she's doing is videoing herself not taking care of her kids.
Stephanie Jenkins' downfall is coming faster and louder than anyone could have predicted. For months, she dodged real accountability while living off drama, pity, and distractions. But now, with public trust wearing thin and her online empire cracking, people are waking up. Her followers are walking away. Her lies are catching up, and she's running out of places to hide. She's made promise after promise, yet nothing has changed. Not her kids' living situation, not her habits, and definitely not her toxic pattern of behavior. This isn't just another online scandal. This is a slow motion train wreck of family in crisis, and people are done watching in silence. Let's get into the facts. Stephanie accidentally posted a video that was clearly meant only for her paid subscribers, those who pay monthly to get her behind the scenes updates. In the video, she began with an apology, saying she hadn't uploaded anything for them in about 2 weeks.
I always feel like I have the most awkward angle in this car because it just feels like I'm just like scooped into it. I don't know another word to say that, but let's get into it. It's been a minute since I posted anything on my sub-only content, and I apologize for that. I've been not feeling good for a while now, and I've also, for a minute there, I spent some time just focusing on some family time, turned the camera off, and just wanted to get off social media.
Now here's where things get awkward. She had only been inactive on her public TikTok account for 4 days, but a subscriber-only audience, they hadn't heard from her since July 11th. So yes, her apology may have seemed sincere, but it also revealed that she doesn't treat her paying supporters with the consistency they expect. This video should have been private, but she made the rookie mistake of publishing it publicly. Everyone saw it. Haters, critics, followers, and even people who don't like her. And what they saw only fueled more concern. Stephanie said she had taken a break for her health and to focus on family time. Then, almost as if trying to spiritualize the situation, she claimed that God told her to rest. She literally said, "God made me to take a break." That line struck a nerve with many, especially since she had a long history of blaming divine intervention on poor personal decisions.
But then, it's like God was like, it still wasn't long enough of a break, because I feel like, honestly, I was carrying this, like, resentment and, like, energy towards everything that's going on, and I was just about to spew stuff, you know?
Then, she shifted gears again and said she didn't want to return just to talk about drama.
And I didn't want to make my platform about that. I never did. I never wanted to be the person who got up on my platform and just spoke about drama and everything. I want to just focus on me and my kids and everything in our lives. Sorry, it hurts to breathe right now.
That's ironic because her entire online identity has been built on drama. Her page is where she drags out her court battles, her parenting rants, her fights with viewers, and her excuses. It's been one long ongoing reality show with the kids stuck in the middle. And here's what really made people raise their eyebrows. This video went live on the exact same weekend that Deshaun, her son, was scheduled to spend time with his biological mom, Desiree. The timing wasn't lost to anyone. The coincidence felt a little too intentional. People saw it as Stephanie trying to shift the narrative, steer sympathy back her way, and distract her audience from the painful truth. She lost custody and she's not handling it well. Even though her tone was more mellow than usual, viewers picked up something odd. Her speech was slow, her energy was low, and she kept rumbling. A lot of long-term followers suspected she had been using substances again. Some pointed out that the timing lined up with when TikTok pays creators around the middle of the month. The pattern is familiar. She gets a paycheck, goes silent, then comes back sounding detached and zoned out. It's happened too many times for people not to notice.
Okay, this is my professional addict opinion on why Stephanie and Drew go ghost for a few days every month. So the last time we saw her, she was outside sweeping gravel. We know only one kind of person sweeps gravel, for the most part. So I think they're getting all this money, like, especially from TikTok, because you get paid in the middle of the month or whatever. And I think we, like, see them in real time, like, on a bender, and, like, spiraling, like when she was sweeping. And then the bender gets so intense that they don't worry about social media for a little while. If you've ever been on one, you know, like, you're worried about doing a million and one other things besides sitting on social media, making a video, all that. You really can't at that point. But I think that's why. It definitely wouldn't surprise me, that's why. But don't worry. They'll be back in a few days because they'll need more money.
What's especially sad is that none of that money ever seems to benefit her. She's never shown them getting new clothes, attending to proper school, or going on family outings. There is no therapy sessions, no health upgrades, no better meals, and definitely no improved housing. They are still all crammed in a motel room. So where does the money go? It doesn't take a genius to guess whether it is substances, impulsive spending, or something else entirely. It's not going towards her children's well-being. This video, intended for a small group of paying fans, accidentally revealed a much bigger truth. Stephanie is in over her head, still bitter and still stuck in a loop, and the public is no longer willing to keep watching silent. In her video, she claimed to be seriously unwell. She described chest pain and shortness of breath and said she got tests done, specifically a heart scan.
For the last couple of days, it's been about 5 days now, I've been dealing with this pain in my chest. Hurts really bad to take a deep breath, and I'm not sure what the frick it is, and I'm not even gonna get into that. I did get some testing done, and I'm really just not the type of person to spend too much time on stuff at the doctor's office. I mean, you can judge me for that, but I believe in herbal medicine. I believe in, like, natural medicine, being in tune with your own body, because I've been in this body for 30 years. Doctor in the ER don't even know me. So that's just how I feel.
But here's the confusing part. She also said she avoids doctors and prefers herbal remedies. So which is it? If her pain was truly intense and alarming, why did she only get her heart checked? Why not her lungs? Especially if the main issue she described was difficulty breathing. Any responsible person facing these symptoms would want a full medical evaluation to rule out heart and lung complications, even something like a pulmonary embolism or severe asthma. Chest pain combined with shortness of breath it usually demands a full set of tests, including a chest x-ray, blood work, ECG, and possibly a CT scan if there is risk of clots. But Stephanie didn't mention any of that. She said it might be muscle-related or due to stress. Then compared the pain to being worse than labor. Worse than labor? And yet she didn't rush to the ER? That doesn't make sense. That kind of inconsistency leads people to think either she's exaggerating or once again trying to use healthcare to pull attention back to herself. It's a common tactic. Create chaos, then return as the struggling mom needing sympathy.
Has been gone for a few days because her heart is really hurting, and she's gone to the emergency room, which she's strongly against. Stephanie Jenkins does not like to go to an emergency room because she says she doesn't necessarily believe in Western medicine. She believes more in like natural remedies and so on and so forth. But then she goes and contradicts herself and says, well, my babies need me, so I needed to check my heart. Which one is it?
Instead of giving clear, responsible answers, she gave viewers contradictions. She said she wants to stay healthy for the kids, but refuses to get fully evaluated. If you say your children are your motivation to get better, wouldn't that include ruling out all possible causes? This wasn't concern, it was damage control. Let's talk about where her money goes. She spends on new appliances, tripods, ring lights, and probably a better phone. Her recent video quality proves it. So clearly, she has money to spend. It's not about lack of funds, it's about what she values. She prioritizes tech upgrades and her image over actual care. And it's not just her own health she's neglecting. Her toddler Boba isn't talking. He clearly needs help, and that means speech therapy. But that's not a priority for her. Instead of paying for even one evaluation session, she continues recording videos while her child falls further behind. So again, it's not about what she can or can't afford. It's what she chooses to spend on. And time again, her choices prove that her kids' well-being come last. Later, Stephanie took her story to Facebook and posted a long, emotional message, one that revealed more than she probably intended. She talked about her chest pain again, comparing it to the intensity of being in active labor. She said the doctors found nothing wrong with her heart, which should have been reassuring. But instead of moving forward, she used that detail to pivot into a vague explanation, saying it might be GERD. She also made sure to say she wasn't looking for sympathy.
Zillion Jenkins just made a new post on FB, and Stephanie's going to be taking some time off from content creation to apparently rest and recover from another mysterious illness she has this time. Let's talk about it. Here's a post she made this morning. She says, I've been trying to rest, focus on the kid, and focus on her recovery from whatever's going on in her chest. She says she's always been the girl that hated to miss work. And this is the part that really got me. She says, I know y'all don't see content creating as an employment route. She then goes on to make a bunch of excuses and say she just wanted to let us know she's taking it easy for a little. Now, absolutely no one is saying that content creating isn't a real job. We're just confused of where the money is going. Stephanie initially started this journey in a one-bedroom apartment, saying she wanted to start creating content so she could better their lives. She gains the following, starts making money, continues to degress, so it just doesn't make any sense. We are annoyed that you have all the resources to better your life and you're just still not doing it. This whole post on FB, she could have got paid for by making it into a short video. Literally just talking into the camera like I am right now, in any effort to truly get her kids out of that hotel room. So the real question is, Stephanie, at 300,000 followers and millions of views every month, what is the real reason content creation isn't working and you're still in this motel? And you can't blame it on the haters because they're the ones getting you more views. Another point I found funny is that she keeps reiterating that she would tell us what she's going to do with this GoFundMe money, yet doesn't tell us what they do with all the money that they make from TikTok and YouTube.
But let's be honest, the post read like a textbook plea for attention. The tone, the dramatics, the way she emphasized her pain and her struggles. It was designed to get people to feel sorry for her. She claimed she doesn't like being the center of attention, but that's exactly what she positioned herself as in that post. It wasn't an update, it was a performance. And this is a pattern with Stephanie. Every time she loses control of the narrative, she runs to social media to reclaim it with emotion. She also defended herself by saying content creation is her job and that she hates missing work. She emphasized how seriously she takes her career as an influencer.
I was really hesitant to go, but I wanted to just at least get a scan done and make sure my heart was good because my kids need me. So told me my heart was looking good. I was like, okay, I will follow up with the primary and I will take care of, figuring it out on my own. Just trying trial and error kind of thing, trying different things to see if it helps. Right now I'm just trying resting a little bit. Sorry, someone threw me off because they started looking at me in the car. I don't know why it throws me off when people start like watching me record myself in the car like you're about to post it on the internet. Chances are this person's going to see it anyways. In fact, it was my neighbor who already knows I am on the internet. So anyways, I've just been resting and trying lighter diet choices, maybe stuff that's not as heavy on my heart. Not that I'm even saying it's related to my heart because I don't know what it is. That's just what I'm trying. and then the next thing, we'll try the next thing. It actually seems more maybe muscle related, because less been holding my baby on this side instead more often, and like I said, just resting, and it's helping a lot. So I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I'm gonna make another video after this. It just feels like it's been forever since I've chatted with y'all. I'm tired, I'm in pain, but I'm gonna keep going. And yeah, there's so much to talk to you guys about and so much to update. I just feel like I never get the freaking time, especially and this, like, you could imagine, it was already hard to get alone time to do like voiceovers or anything like that in the apartment, but here in the motel it's even harder. I could be like outside in the yard, but it's right out in a neighborhood, so I feel like people can hear me almost anywhere I am. And it's just, I don't know, it's not that I'm like worried about people watching or listening to me make a video, because like I said, it's gonna be posted anyways. It's not really the part I care about. It's just that I like to be in my own zone to start making the video and post it, and I just feel more myself doing so. And maybe that won't be the case once I've gotten out of my bubble a little bit more. And like I said, people don't get this. For Drew and I both, having an environment where the kids have their own space and we can like actually make it a home, it's gonna reflect on our personalities a ton. It would reflect on anybody's personality. But I'm sorry I'm rambling. I really am.
But if this is truly her job, where is the evidence of growth or stability? Why hasn't her family's living situation improved? Why are her children still sleeping wall to wall in a one-room motel surrounded by chaos and clutter? If she's working every day and generating income through views and engagement, why hasn't that translated into even the smallest step toward a better life? Let's rewind when she first started making money online. Back then, she was living in a full apartment. It wasn't perfect, but it was a step up. Now, despite having over 300,000 TikTok followers and racking up millions of views, she's regressed. The more popular she's become, the worse her environment has gotten. They've gone from an apartment to a single motel room where 7 people live in uncomfortable, unsafe conditions. And let's talk about her so-called job. What is this work that she supposedly hates missing? Filming herself sweeping rocks on the parking lot? Recording videos of mopping walls while venting to the camera? These aren't tasks that serve her children or move her forward in any meaningful way. They are distractions. They are the kind of content that get clicks but solves nothing. This is exactly why so many people believe she and Drew are used. The cycle is painfully clear. The money comes in, their behavior changes, they disappear or spiral, and then she returns with an emotional update, blaming everything but themselves. Rinse and repeat. So if this is her version of work, this is a job built on enabling dysfunction, not escaping it. And the longer the cycle continues, the more obvious it becomes that she's not doing it for her kids. She's doing it to survive in chaos. And that's what's keeping them all stuck. A dangerous pattern that's hard to ignore. Stephanie has a long and troubling record of avoiding proper medical care, not just for herself, but for her entire family. One of the most jarring examples of this was when she gave birth in a car. Not on the way to the hospital, not just outside the ER, literally in the car. Why? Because she delayed the process so much that by the time she was heading in, it was already too late. And even then, once she made it inside the hospital, her priority wasn't recovery. It was rushing to leave. She couldn't wait to discharge herself so she could get home to the kids, even though her body had just gone through a traumatic event. That moment speaks volumes about her mindset, rushing through life-threatening situations just to maintain control. This anti-hospital, anti-doctor mentality has only gotten worse with time. Instead of seeking professional help, Stephanie now relies on Google, TikTok trends, and her own assumptions. She diagnosed Drew with autism just because of one behavior. She's labeled Booba as developmentally delayed without a professional evaluation. She doesn't speak to pediatricians. She doesn't consult therapists. She self-diagnoses, and worse, she declares it publicly as fact. And it's not because she can't afford a professional opinion. Let's be clear. It's never really about money. She has enough to buy cameras, ring lights, new phones and appliances. She has enough to improve video quality, get hair products and go live for hours. But she won't spend a single dime to get Boba into speech therapy. She won't invest in developmental evaluation. Why? Because it's not a priority. And in Stephanie's world, priorities revolve around attention, not accountability. But there is something deep. It's not just financial negligence, it's about control. If a doctor tells her that Drew needs therapy or that Boba has a specific developmental delay, that creates pressure to act. She'd have to follow up, should have to prove she's doing something about it. And that's not the kind of spotlight she wants. She wants to control the story, not leave out the responsibility that comes out with real solutions. So instead, she stays in denial. She constructs a world of half-truths where she's always the one who knows best, even when her kids are clearly falling through the cracks. Self-diagnosis gives her freedom from cost, from effort, and from having to admit that her parenting may not be enough. And unfortunately, her children are the ones paying the price for the false sense of control. People are done. The unfollow campaign begins. Stephanie's viewers have had enough. They are not going to be quiet about it anymore. They have watched her lie, twist facts, dodge accountability, and exploit her kids for content while offering them no real stability or progress. What once looked like a messy but harmless mom trying to make ends meet has now evolved into something much more disturbing. Her platform has crossed the line. It's no longer just controversial, it's harmful. Harmful to her kids, harmful to the audience, and harmful to the online space that gives her a voice. This is why a campaign has started. It's not just a few people talking, there is a movement. People are unfollowing her in large numbers, and they are not just quietly leaving. They are encouraging others to do the same. Many have realized that by commenting or arguing on her videos, even if it's to call her out, they are still fueling her algorithm. They are still keeping her visible. And so, they have decided to do the one thing that hits the hardest: disappear. They are walking away. No more giving her attention, no more reactions, no more drama engagement, because silence, in this case, is the loudest message they can send. Without followers, her platform loses power. Without viewers, her money slows down. And without a cheering audience, the endless cycle of excuses, victimhood, and staged content might finally start to crumble. The hope is that this drop in attention will force her to reflect, or at least make her think twice about constantly filming her children and exposing their lives to millions of strangers. Because by now, this isn't just about bad parenting or questionable choices. It's about a digital environment so toxic that these kids are growing up in a spotlight that thrive on pity, dysfunction, and chaos. And viewers have decided they don't want to be part of that in a crossroads or a collapse. Stephanie Jenkins keeps saying she wants to focus on the kids. But what does that really mean when absolutely none of her actions line up with that claim? Saying the words is easy. Living in them is the hard part. And that's where Stephanie falls short every single time. She has the money, she has the visibility, she has the resources that most struggling moms don't. But she doesn't have the heart, the humility, or the discipline to actually put her children first in any meaningful way. When someone says they're focusing on their kids, you expect to see some reflection of that. Stable housing, consistent meals, clean clothing, proper medical care, even just peace and security. But with Stephanie, all we have seen is the opposite. The same hotel room, the same internet drama, and the same emotional chaos on camera. She's not focusing on her kids. She's using them as shields to justify her own spiral. Her version of focus is performative. It's what she says when she needs to reset the narrative, not what she lives out daily. This isn't just a fall from grace. It's a full case study in how someone can build a digital empire on dysfunction, disguise it as a hustle, and call it motherhood. Her entire platform thrives on pity and scandal. Her job, as she calls it, is one she created out of her own mess. But that job isn't helping her kids. it's enabling the very system that's hurting them. So here's the real question we need to be asking. Is this the moment where the spiral finally breaks? Is this where the mass unfollowing actually leads to self-awareness and change? Or is this just another phase in the same toxic cycle she's refused to escape from? Will she use this as a wake-up call or spin it into another victim narrative to pull viewers back in? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Stephanie will finally change, or is this just more smoke and mirrors? And make sure to like and subscribe for more updates as this ongoing story continues to unfold.